Okay, so I went on TikTok. I swear to God, I've been on so long. Ah, and man, and she's just pacing and pacing, and she can't get comfortable. I swear to God, the first time she woke me up last time was 9:30. I was like, no, please, please. Oh my God. And it just kept going and going. And her pacing and stuff. And I'll tell you what is rough now, because I'm not tossing and turning in that bed. And it is so comfortable. And I go in such a deep sleep. And I've been turning on those theta waves. Oh my gosh. If anybody has insomnia or can't sleep, turn on those things. If you go to the different binaural beats and stuff like that, and you find the different ones, there's ones that promote sleeping, and I am not kidding. You put those on and try. If you don't have a good effect, try another one. Because you put those on, and it is like your brain just all of a sudden becomes really heavy. And it just goes into this like, slows down. And just, I can tell such a huge difference. And I can barely keep my eyes open very long when I start listening. Even when I try and meditate and just relax, I just go out. And that bed is so comfortable. Oh my gosh. So, anyways, I feel so tired, but I'm everything is so disjointed to me. Like doing this, it just seems like that's it. This is what I'm doing. Just that's it. Like I don't even know. Do I even exist outside of that? Like it's so weird. And like yesterday, all of my little plates I did, oh my gosh, they turned out so good. I couldn't believe it. Even though things weren't being perfect, they turned out really good. Then I put, and when I did the almonds, I put them in, I had some of the caramel sauce, so I put them in the caramel sauce and I cooked that on them. And then I did my chocolate sauce. And every fucking recipe I kept finding, they just wanted me to melt chocolate chips. And so I just made my own chocolate, fudge sauce stuff, and then put that on the almonds, and then cook that on them, then put them in the fridge. It was like an ordeal trying to figure out how to do the almonds. But they turned out good. They didn't turn out like super, super beautiful, but they turned out good. And I made the biscotti. I made that Christmas crack stuff. I made some peanut butter chocolate chip cookies. All of the stuff turned out really good. And then, and the peanut butter cookies they weren't completely flourless, but such a minimal amount of flour. And the biscotti had such a minimal amount of sugar. And then, I made pretzels. Because I kept thinking, well, maybe I'll make them all like a little loaf of bread. And then I was like, no. I was going like trying to figure out all these different things. And I was like, oh, I'll make pretzels. That'd be good. And then, so I was thinking, well, I'll just make it like bread and do that. So I decided, well, I'll look it up. And so I looked it up, and the recipe is a little different because you add in some sugar and some butter and stuff into the dough. And then you don't have to keep letting it rise over and over. But the weird thing that you do that makes all the difference is you have baking soda. It's a half a cup of baking soda and 8 cups of water boiling, and you put them in there for a minute. It might even just be, I just did it like by watching 30 seconds, a minute or something like that. And so then they kind of puff up. And then you put them on the pan and you cook them on 400 for like 12 minutes. And I did some cinnamon ones, and when I made a frosting for them. And then I did some everything seed ones, and I put a little oregano oil on them. It's like, I'll get a little healthy stuff in there. And oh my gosh, they turned out so good. I'm going to make those again for sure. I didn't dump out the rest of the baking soda water. I'm going to make them. They're really, really good. And the baking soda gives them like that tart kind of flavor that you get like when you go to the pretzel place. And I was even thinking, I could make pretzel bites and just do a little those little dough balls, and then puff them up in there and then bake them. And you could do them like cinnamon, or there's so many different toppings and so many different dips. But oh my gosh, they're really good. So I'm gonna make some more of those for sure. And, but anyways, I felt so good. Oh my gosh, that is such a high to me, to do something, to accomplish something. And then I was in all these different things that I keep starting. I keep thinking, oh, it's going to take all day. Oh, will I even finish it today? And then I'm done in like 2 hours. I was done with all of those different cooking things. The last one I finished was the pretzels, and all the other stuff was done like by 9 in the morning. And then after I finished those, then I had to do the dough and let it rise and stuff. So everything was done like by 10:30. And I keep having this most perfect timing that is so strange. And so the neighbor, I had seen the truck had left. So I was like, man, I don't know, maybe she had to go to work. And so then I texted her when I was getting close to me wanting to put the bag over, and I asked if she was there, and she said that she was, that her husband and one of the kids had gone snowboarding. So there must be, I'm sure there's a lot of people up there just enjoy, and I gotta not judge people who are just trying to enjoy this life, because, I don't know what I don't know what anybody's future is, I don't know what anybody's guidance is. And I don't know who's being guided and who's not being guided, who's on autopilot, who's not on autopilot, I have no idea at this point, I swear to God. And anyways, but she was fixing to leave. And so I got to give it to her right there. I keep having that kind of stuff happen. Like, I call somebody and ask them something, and they'll be, oh, it just now happened. It's trippy. And that's what I'm saying. Like, the communication is crazy. Like, how much that and how when you really are listening and you're really sharp and on top of it, how in sync you become, There really is something to it. And, but so when I went on TikTok this morning, and, man, I swear to God, I just have to keep going. Everything is so freaking loud to me. Like, everything. Energy, the sounds, everything is so magnified. It's like extreme. And that is why, like, some things that I put on, it's just like, oh my God, this is so obvious and so disgusting to me. And let me think what I was saying, because I had something else that was coming into my, there's like a whole bunch of things coming. I can't even like see them all at the same time. So anyways, let me think what I was talking about. When I went on there, it's like I have to go through so many to even find one that I want to listen to. And so much of it just seems like repetitive, or like I'm just being yelled at information or something, And it's so crazy too how much information, like so many people think like it's so new, and it's like, fuck, I've been trying to say this for years. But see, it's all in timing. I mean, now there's more people waking up, so there is more people listening and more people who want to hear, so but one of the things I saw on there, so the storms, one thing, I think that, a hurricane, and then a freeze, and then a flood, like we are having floods again. And today it's supposed to, it says 10 miles an hour winds. 10 miles an hour winds is scary when, I don't know, we'll see. And sometimes I don't believe they're wind things, but when the trees are going and then it's unstable, but their wind, can go up to however high. They can go up 75 or 100, and the trees will just be crashing down everywhere. All these fucking trees are just dead everywhere. And so, but in all these different places, I was like, that's exactly what they're doing, is just to keep destabilizing us, hit us with one storm after another. We just can't keep up, it's just one thing after another. And literally, I have heard people, oh my God, I don't even want to hear from you climate change deniers. Like, if you can't see what is going on with the temperatures jumping, like there was like a 85-degree jump the other day. There's a lot of 50-degree jumps that were in 2 minutes. It dropped from 2 minutes. But people who were having a snowstorm, like I guess in Chicago after their big snowstorm, then yesterday or the day before, it was suddenly 50 and you could be outside wearing a tank top. So, and then this person I saw, they were just like, if you can't see that climate change is around, like, oh my God, if you can't see that the news and the government is lying to you, like, I don't know what to tell you. I'm just like, oh my gosh. Today, I just wanted to do this TikTok and go on there and go like, I'm going to claim some labels here. I'm an anti-vaxxer, climate change denier. Oh my God. Because it's bullshit. Yeah, they want you just to pay a bunch of taxes and buy a bunch of smart meters and electric cars. That's all they fucking want. No matter what, we can't stop the cataclysmic event that's coming. It has nothing to do with motherfucking, and then putting all their goddamn chemicals up in the sky. And I have been coughing and get real wheezy and tight. And I'm telling you, smoking that cigarette totally helps. I feel certain about what I was thinking this morning was, all this rain and stuff like that. And then on top of it, I saw this other guy talking about all cancer is parasites, that they lay their eggs inside of you and that becomes a tumor. And then you start growing tumors all over. But it's all these parasites inside of you, and that's what's going on. And so with that in mind, and then also knowing, that they use the water as the transport vehicle for a lot of these chemicals or things, because different things need things to transfer them. And so, like a certain cold, you have to have a sneeze go in your face, so all the little virus particles can attach to the sputum and then it spit in your face, and then if the little bacteria can find their way into your body, then if you're depending on your immune system, then those can start attacking you and your body. And so they need like a way to travel. And so that is with all of these parasites, I think, that are raining down on us and in the snow and all that stuff. And so I was thinking, I know I talked about this before, but it was really sticking out to me this morning when I was coughing so hard. And I was like, that is it is important to be coughing this stuff out. I think all these people who don't smoke anything and don't cough, and they've got all of this stuff that they're breathing in, because once you breathe it in, then it can go anywhere. So the stuff can travel through your body and it can go into your heart. So then we have all this heart stuff going on. Then you have all this stuff with the lungs, lung diseases, and also all the sicknesses. So the lungs are under attack with these things. Then you have all of the blood can transfer and move. They move around through the blood just like they can move through the water. And so then they can move to different organs in your body. They can cross the blood-brain barrier. And so we're being attacked from the inside. And all of that stuff that, they are putting down. So when you have to breathe it in, I think it is important to I just had this thing in my head. So I think it's important to just, when the mucus, so when you breathe it in, like if you smoke and you breathe it in, the mucus goes and attaches all around it. It should attach around all sorts of different, anything that you breathe in, it should attach with mucus around it. But I think something that they're doing is, well, you do have some people, because then they all start saying that they've got allergies all of a sudden. So Your body is trying to get rid of some of them, but some are staying inside of people. Now, I think it is really important to do whatever you can to cough them out. I think the parasite cleanses are so important, but I was thinking, man, if you don't smoke, with you got to get something with the to help you get the heaviness out of your lungs or something, and to cough that stuff up. And then I was thinking, though, that the mucus kind of holds onto it, but the visual I just got when I was saying that was like, ooh, but then if you don't cough it all the way up and spit it out, like, then if you just cough it up and swallow it, then does the acid eat that away, and then the parasites go directly into your intestines. So, man, like, they're totally, and when we're trying to figure this stuff out with they already know all this stuff. Like, I just saw a thing in 1912 is when they started. I mean, it keeps getting traced back further and further and further. But 1912, they were creating rain. So, it's over 100 years they've been weather manipulating and pretending like that they're not. That's the thing. It's not like they tell us. And then if they're in such control and it's for our benefit, then what the fuck is there a famine? How's California got no water? It's control. It's fucking bullshit. And another thing I saw this morning, and this is what's got me really going too, is Arkansas now. So we got today's the 30th. Which fucking Xfinity. I don't know where in the hell now all of a sudden it's by the fucking data. They got every month. You're about to run out of data. So I ran out of data because this month is so long. You run out of data on your home. God, I am so sick of this shit. They would have us fucking pay for every little fucking crumb if they could. Yeah, I just saw a thing too about this study of poop, and about that the scientists who studied all of this poop, and that the people in Africa, their poop was so healthy, and it was all because they had no additives in their food. They were eating fresh food, and all the process that takes all the fiber out of our foods here makes it where people have all these problems with their gut health and constipation. They don't absorb the nutrients right. All of that stuff is done on purpose. And sugar doesn't have an effect on you. The sugar works with the natural fibers. So you need those two together. So them taking that out and then just putting all the sugar, see, they put it all out of balance. And then all these people start having all these issues. And then people here, they just market them to just be shallow, lazy, and people just jump on board. Well, we're America. We're progressive. No, you're not. You're dependent. You are so shallow. It is mind-boggling to me how shallow people are. It's just like, oh my God. It is... it's just a sad state of affairs, and then because even with the smugness, just some of the stuff that people say, it's like, okay, you're so awake, but you're so fucking shallow and smug. Like, that is, and listen to me judging. Listen to me judge them for judging that. Oh, it's ridiculous. Oh, but okay, so what really got me going, so we got Ohio that is about to go. Illinois is about to go. And now Arkansas. And they've put a total lockdown. So this martial law, so they can go like place by place. They don't have to go big old scoop. All of America, you're under a no, they're going to go little by little by little by little. So Arkansas now, they're under curfew, lockdown, which also, so is that going to, and it's not the whole state. I think it's one area, but that's what they'll do. Is one area here, then another. Oh, it's working good there. Oh, we better do it here. Oh, look here. And don't forget, they brought in all their instigator and criminals from all over the fucking world to come in to start this shit. So to destabilize us with weather, to attack our immune system, So we're weakened in every sickness, and people who are soulless, who are so fearful of death, and so total control. And then you have the instigators out there doing that. And are homeless now? Is that going to be a crime? You can't be homeless because you're on the street after 8 p.m. It's not allowed. And then they're going to do that in all these different places. They're going to, and I don't even know how, this is going to be quite interesting. So in Ohio, where there will be no cops, no police, no fire station workers, no, I don't know. I guess there would be hospital employees. I don't know. I mean, they could go so far as to lock anything down. I mean, there's no telling how far they're going to take all this. And I just saw this psychic guy somebody was sharing, and he was doing his predictions for 2023, and I only heard like a little, but his was everything's gonna be way worse, and the politics is gonna just keep getting worse. Everything he said is just gonna keep getting worse. I was like, oh my god, every time we just get all this hope that something is going to change. Like, I'm just hoping that the stuff he sees is he's reading it through his lens, and so his understanding is how he's perceiving. But to me, it could be very much about the trouble and turmoil is the people awakening. Because now Twitter, I don't even know all of the stuff they've been releasing every day or something. I think they do these drops to release this information. And I don't know if all of the liberals have left Twitter. Like, I have no idea. And if it's just the same people seeing the same stuff over and over. But he's released all this stuff about so much about the censorship, but now that they were blocking the information over the people who were with their hearts, there 32,000 they blocked of those events with the Mayos. It's like, oh my gosh. So all these people that were trying to speak out about what was going on to help other people and stop them from doing the same mistake, they were all being shut down. And so those numbers. And so, all this stuff is going to keep coming. And, I think there's not going to be any way to get away from it, no matter what. I still don't know how this is all going to keep playing out. If it's going to just keep being, city by city, and tragedy by tragedies, little by little, waking up, and then, somehow that turns us abruptly going the other direction, which I still think there's an event that has to happen to turn us the other direction. Either they're going to say who the real president is, which I just saw a thing about our real first president in the United States was a black guy. And he is on the $2 bill on the back, and that's why they stopped doing the $2 bill, because a group of men on the back, and it shows him. And I saw somebody doing the history of him or whatever. It's like, oh my God, this place is so, oh God. And the way that there's just so many things that just disgust me. And they are, these white old people who are doing this stuff, who are running this world. Like, that's true. It's not all of us. Like, we're the fucking lab-made droids. Like, we're the super soldiers. Which, I just saw this too, is yesterday, what was this? I think it was during Hitler's reign, and it was one of his guys. But it could have been a scientist from a different, I think he was, I swear to God, he came from that period of time, and then he kept his work, and then he went somewhere else to continue his work. But his was reanimating dead people, so making Frankensteins, which he made all of these reanimated people. And so he was documenting it all. And oh, I don't even know if that is, that could have been totally made up. Oh my gosh. Because I just remembered the woman who was telling the story. It was so interesting because about the reanimation, but I just know that they really do that stuff. And, but I think she was telling a story that she made up, because at the end, she's like, if you like that, check out my book. But anyways, so I was about to go off on a story that I think was made up. But I do know for sure that those scientists are doing that stuff. I mean, they're putting people together, and I feel so fucking sure that that is what they're doing with these fucking frozen people. I just saw another thing, and it was a news clip, and it's the Johnson Johnson being exposed. Oh, no, it's on Hulu. It's a documentary, Johnson Johnson being exposed. It is, damn it. It's 3 words. But you can look it up if you want to see it. So they're being exposed in this documentary, and about the asbestos. So it was in their talc, and they knew it. And but in the little clip thing I saw, it also showed how they were testing on all of these prisoners in jail. They're injecting 2 types of asbestos into their back. Now, these guys have been trying to sue, and when over their time, they were allowed. See how the system protects itself. It's always protecting itself and then testing on us. And like I've seen so many about with the prisoners, so many about with the people in the mental institutes, even all of the stuff with all of the mental pharmaceuticals. It's all testing on those people. Like, seriously. And then just made me think about, and then they fucking spray lithium on us, like right out in the goddamn sky. And I knew they were spraying something that was making where all of a sudden you just felt drugged. Like you just have to lay down and go to sleep. I knew. Man. But all of this stuff that just keeps coming of them testing all of these things on these has been boys' schools, orphanages, mental places, women in prison, babies born to women in prison. Like, I can't even, over and over and over. And in all the different tests, and there is some sort of thing of them trying to reanimate people for control. And I think I had seen that girl's story right after I had kept talking about it and talking about what I think that they're doing with these homeless ones that are flash frozen. I mean, you know, if you, and I don't know how many there are, there's still people who are, they said that there's cars and stuff that are feet under snow. Like they can't even get to some of the stuff. They had a snowstorm like the week before. I swear to God, I heard somebody saying it was like a 6-foot snowstorm. And then now they just got another, the bad one that they just had. It was way more. So I don't know. This guy was just going on and on. Like, I don't know what the people say in his comments, but how great Buffalo is. And they're used to hard, long winters. They're used to tons of snow. They all come together. They work together, which is so strange when you think about them being so hit so hard. And it could be, you know, if they are some sort of angelic, you know, beings of a higher frequency that do all really get along and stuff really well, then they would be coming to bring attention to a certain situation. So they would go through all this horrible and trauma so that this situation would be shown. That's why you can't judge between, you know, things, because it could be an exact opposite of what you think. And so it can be to awaken people because they're so stuck in, you know, it's so different. But everything happening is about the awakening. And so the, you know, him talking about all of the horrible stuff and how many frozen people there are. And people are frozen in their cars, frozen in their homes. They haven't even gotten into all the homes to see. There's lots of people missing. So I don't know what the death count will end up in. And they've lied to us about numbers for years. Like, it's so clear now. So, but how many of those people that, I mean, to me, this Soylent Green creepy ass fucking place that we live in, that, they'd go around when everybody's asleep at night and go around. It wouldn't surprise me if they went around with some sort of fucking flying machine and saw a dead person and zapped them up and took them, and took them into, it's probably them who were doing the cows all those years. So then take them to some deep underground lab and then start doing that medical thaw and then doing some sort of brain sweep, because that is what they want. They want mindless soldiers, just mindless, bodies that don't think for themselves, that don't have needs or wants. And that's probably why it grossed them out so much all the way back about us having sex like animals. And, everything about us they don't like. And then they keep trying to, breed the stuff they don't like out of us. I swear to God, out of humans. No matter what, we're all classified as humans. Well, we were until they just did their last, experiment. Now they're trying to change that too. Because, I don't know. I just know it's all experiments, and people are, if the people are going to let them lock them down like this, people have got to stand up and come together. And that is the thing around here in my community. I can go out. Oh yeah, people are just nice as can be, friendly, just so nice. And go around, but as soon as you say anything that is the truth, you don't fit into the community. You're just a weirdo, crazy person. So when the UN is coming in or whatever is gonna go fucking down, these people have different reaction, like with the weather and stuff. So they come and start telling us to lock down. I mean, for God's sakes, these people police these, they are fucking driven. So, they'll do whatever. They come in and start telling us that we're locked down for our own safety. Oh, you bet your ass they'll lock themselves down there. And they'll be like the one guy down there on the 542 with his big signs out. Stop the mandate, stop, there's weird, just random people like me out there, but the majority, and so that to me is something that has got to go on to wake these people up out here. And, and I don't know if this is storms, they're starting out here because with this rain and wind thing that was supposed to be coming, I don't know, it's just one storm after another. With snowstorm, floods, God damn, this is so, just, I just sit here, I'm on one of these things today with my guys of why am I here? How long can this go on? This isn't new for me. This has been going on so long at this point. Oh my God, damn. Oh my God, I can't even, I just, it's hard for me to even fathom, this, my whole life, my whole existence, and then to lead to this, it just drags on and on and on. It's oh my God, and then you have this desire and this drive to do something, something important to help people. And then you're just completely cut off and silenced. And that just goes on and on and on. And it's just oh my God. And then being out here, and being isolated, not having anyone to talk the truth to. And, just knowing anything that goes down, fuck, whatever's going to go down, I guess, we'll see how it goes. You know, I do know in all these different places that people will come together, so any tragedy that happens, but, push comes to shove, like, that they would be compliant. They would do what they're told. They wouldn't go against them. And that's what has got to go down, is the communities have got to start standing up and saying, no, we're not going to do this. We don't even need you to be our governor anymore. We don't need you to be our mayor anymore. People just believe that they have to be governed, that they have to do this, they have to do that. No, the whole thing is you believe you have to, so you allow it. We don't have to have any of this. It's all been forced upon us and manipulated to control us. And people just keep allowing it, even though they're unhappy, even though they're miserable, even though they have to just work. And, yesterday, even when I went out to give her bag and she was heading out and she was heading to the DMV and she was saying, oh, I'll probably get stuck there for a couple hours. But I got my CDL, so I'm so excited now I can drive the school bus. So, she got that, which the CDL, I think that she should be able to drive. I don't know if there's like restrictions on sides of trucks, but you could, no matter what, end up being a delivery driver somehow. So you do have options, but I was like, man, she's put so much time and effort into becoming this school bus driver. And to me, that's short-lived. Like, the school buses are not going to be around. And that's what I'm talking about with, when you're thinking about how you want to make it in this world in the future, you got to think independently. You got to think about, what does the world need and what can I do? What can I put out there? And, and it's pretty nerve-wracking at this point. It's like, how far are we going to go into this? Like, are we going to be pushed? Oh, and I did get my Social Security, and then I got a thing that said I was getting a raise, and I guess everybody does, but the raise funnels right back to them. They just raise your Medicare and take the money. That's ridiculous. You get like $20, and so they want to keep it going. I saw another one talking about the banks, and like all the banks are done. Like the big Dutch central banking system, with the England bank, I think there's the main bank in Ireland and England. Like all of those big banks are all done. They don't have any money. In person, it was some, I don't know, it seemed like a news thing or something. I'm not sure. It could have been somebody's podcast or something, but talking about, the banks did it to themselves because they lent out. They were like loan sharks, and they just loaned out, too much. They overdid their money, and then they just started making more money. Like they fucked their whole thing with their greed. They could have kept their money system working, but they wanted to inflate things and make us have to struggle more and more. So it's going to collapse on top of them. And so as that is happening, which is going to happen, no matter what, that's going to happen. The banks are going down. We're ending that system. We're going back to a new system. And then however long that's going to take. I can't even believe that they've drug it out this long. But to me, just that alone could be the big significant thing that gets everybody's attention. Like, I mean, it will shut down so much stuff with the money thing. And so, I don't know. I know in the quantum system, the Social Security is going to be like 3 times the amount I heard. And so, it's going to be giving a lot more towards retirement. But it's going to be giving so much more to all sides. There's going to be so much money that's going to go back into communities and trying to get to stabilize America. This was one too I just saw. This one just pissed me the fuck off. This made me mad. Because I remember back when we would have to stand in lines at the gas stations, when I was a teenager. We'd have to wait in gas day, and you could only go on certain days, and you'd have to wait in these long lines to get gas, and they made all this thing, and they kept talking about it was Gaddafi, and they just were making all this stuff, Gaddafi, he's our enemy, that fucking Gaddafi, and they just go on and on about him, and I can't even remember, I think everybody just talks smack on the dude all the time. I'm trying to think, because I remember somebody talking about him so much, but were they ever saying anything good about him? I don't know. But anyway, so this thing was showing, this guy was a fucking saint in Libya. Like, he didn't make them pay for shit. He'd give them houses, give them gas, give them, like, Libya was like a dream come true place to live. Like, people living free, they're protected, all of their stuff. So when he was saying he wanted weapons, it was to protect his place, his Shangri-La, from all of these fucking greedy motherfuckers out here. And so he was trying to protect them. But they had free resources. They didn't have to pay for their resources. He was giving them, it was either super cheap houses, or he made sure, people had houses, that gas was super, super cheap. And so, he was making things easier on people, and the governments at hand who want to control didn't like that. So then they took him out. And it's just disgusting, man. The people who have tried to do good work here on this planet, and how, they've just, take them out over and over. And all this stuff that is purging out right now is just so disgusting. I'm like, oh, man, I'm just, the hatefulness, just how hateful, like, women against men, and, like, oh, my gosh. There's kids against parents, parents against, the whole thing. There's just so much hate that is being purged out, so much division, so much just spiteful, horrible, yucky. And so, I don't know how long some of this stuff is going to just keep coming. It's like the fucking humanity is the wound that just keeps on bleeding. It's like, oh my God, how much darkness is in there? Like, come on. And so, to me, the banks, that to me is it's the leadership in the banks. To me, it seems like they're the most unsteady on the tightrope. They could go at any second. The rest are, they still seem to really be trying to gather around and hold it together. Like, they take the Johnson & Johnson guy and put him on the news and say, oh, no, everything's perfect. Like, all these people, they are so evil. Drew Barrymore, she's shown herself now, man. She's shown herself who she backs the evil, it's so manipulative. And I saw a roast the other day, and this one kind of surprised me, because it was that really tall guy who I thought he had totally sold out when he got together with Kim Kardashian. I can't remember his name. He's off Saturday Night Live. Kind of a goofy looking guy, but all the young people just love him. So he's kind of just a weirdo kind of guy. I can't think of his name. But he was doing a roast because he's a comedian, and he was roasting Rob Lowe, and he kept on saying to the point where it was awkward about Rob keeping little kids. Like, yeah, well, we know, and we know it's in your contract. You get 1 a year, 2 a year, or something. Like, oh my God, what the fuck? God damn. Or the shit that is going to be coming out, and all, like, it was in your contract? You got a contract? Yeah, we're going to give you a couple of little ones. And that, what's his name? Who is that guy that Cappy was over at his house talking about, because he had that special room hidden that he would keep his in. It's like, oh my God, how do people live with themselves? No wonder they have to surround themselves with other people like them. How could you stand yourself? Like, you would have to remove all the mirrors out of your house, because how could you even look at yourself? You'd have to go have someone do your makeup for you. It's disgusting. I know. Oh. But all this stuff is going to just keep coming and coming and coming and coming and coming. None of it's going away. It's just, floodgates are open and it's going to keep coming. And I don't know. I just think about that shaman lady saying that ever since she was a kid, she kept having these dreams of having to walk with all these people through the forest up here, through the mountains, and showing them what plants they could eat through this long walk thing. And I keep having that on my mind, thinking after that guy said that we were going to be blocked off over here, which that has kept being like shown to me. Like it was being made obvious to me that our evacuation was going to be a problem. And it would be a waste if you go and you try and evacuate and you're just going to get stuck on the road. And then you're stuck in your car like those people who got flash frozen. It's just dangerous. So to me, it's like, fuck, they started saying evacuate. It just seems mental. It will be ridiculous. And so, that when she was saying that, if I put that together, if we do get trapped over here for months or something, and that is what they're going to do to this area, is leave them with no resources and cut them off. Like, I don't fucking know. These people are so fucking evil. And then, having to walk across the mountain in spring to get out of here. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm like, oh my God. I cannot believe. Like, this is so, I don't know. In my head with this itching. And my hair just keeps falling out and falling out. Like, yesterday even I opened the door and the frequency sound came in so loud. I had to shut the door really quick. I was like, okay, so some frequency is kept and I can't hear it. I couldn't believe it. But all the time, whenever I keep opening the door, I keep hearing lots of weird sounds outside. Really weird. And I don't know. I just don't know. So fucking rough to be awake and surrounded by people who aren't, because you don't even have anybody to talk to about it. Like, what do you think that is? What do you think that is? Because everything is like nothing. It's like, luckily we're getting all these new houses made, so our houses are going to go up. So exciting. We're just building up around here. Yep. It just makes so much sense. The grid that can't fucking handle the homes it has. 16 million empty homes. And we're going to just keep on building more. Because that is what makes sense. In a world where we can't even house people who are freezing to death on the streets. We can't seem to manage to give them a safe place. But let's just keep on building more homes. Because, yeah, especially while you're reducing the population. Like, we probably need way more homes. Especially while you're also building the line and these smart cities where we're very controlled and contained. But just keep building more neighborhoods. Like, just all makes so much sense. I'm like, oh my Lord. And the way that people just keep on is way more just complain about stuff rather than go and do something. Like, I swear to God, they started doing lockdowns over here. I just don't even know. Like, I'm already locked down. You know what I mean? Like, I already don't go out. Like, I'm not going to the movies, going up to the clubs, I'm not going anywhere. I don't even want to eat food that somebody else makes because, like right now it's come out, Walmart spices had poison in them. Like all of their little spice things, they were poisoning people. Well, I think that's how it's going to keep rolling out. See? Little by little, like, because they got to wrap their heads around it, I guess. Like, oh, there's poison in the spices. Oh, there's poison in the food. Like, there's poison in the air. There's poison in the water. Poison is why everybody's sick. Guess what? There is not this flu they keep telling you to be scared of. And I can't even stand to keep hearing people say, oh, I got it. I got it. I got it. I went this whole time. I didn't get it. Did you take a test to prove it? Because those tests all prove the same fucking thing. That they are false positives. And, you know, man, I'm just, I don't know. Just another day to get through. So, if they start locking, you know, us in curfew, I mean, that's just the next step of the takeover. Like, I just can't even believe we start we're grown motherfucking adults. We need the fucking government to babysit us. Are you fucking kidding me? Jesus Christ. Somehow, some way, somewhere, all those of us are awake have got to start coming together and building a community so that we can all stand up for our rights, because we know we have rights. And the other people who have to keep learning it, then, you know, I swear to God that I want to, you know, I see where other people are building and trying to put together these communes and stuff. A lot of people are going and buying a bunch of property and then offering anybody who wants to come there and building community and stuff like that. That I think is going to be smart, but I think that there's going to be a big giveaway, and then it is hard to know, like, for sure where you want to be. Like, there's so much more to it. To me, like, I want to go out and look around and see where I want to be. I don't want to just, like, I would love to go, like, by the Appalachians. I really want to go by Scotland. I would love to have a little farm in Mexico. Like, you know, I don't know. Like, when all of this stuff kind of levels out and we go the other direction, things are going to be so much different. And, you know, but there's all this gray as like, so while that's all happening, do those of us awake, do we have to just go out and start building communities, stand up for ourselves? And us standing up for ourselves shows the other people, you know, do we have to go through all of that? Or is this abrupt thing going to change? And then people are going to start waking up and their soul's going to start guiding them. They're going to start pulling more free from the system. And the financial thing, that is going to be, you know, where it's going to, I think that is going to kind of show over places to live, because I think that it would be more structured over the homestead properties that are going to be, I feel so certain they're going to give away tons of homestead property to get people to start feeding themselves and growing agriculture themselves. Like, you have to promote that, or, you know, we're going to all of a sudden all be standing around next, probably, like, I don't know when the surplus will run out. I mean, they're already in the bottom of the barrels of some of this stuff. And so at some point, you know, and it could be, I mean, I don't know how we're still getting deliveries. Didn't we run out of diesel? Like, and we still got deliveries. So at some point, all of the surplus stuff will, you know, go away. And at different places will be different times, you know. So it's how they can keep destabilizing, because it's all in different times too. So, you know, take down this one and then take down this one over here and that one over there, and just keep going and going and going and going. And then we're all a bunch of helpless and weakened. And so they've got to start they'll have to start promoting people to grow their own food. And so with that, those things will have to be with the leadership and the money thing, when those two things change. So those will be the big things, but that will show, because the leadership that is coming in to restructure, that leadership, I think, is going to be more. They may not come right in and say, oh, guess what? We've got a cataclysm coming. We need everybody to do this or that. And I think they won't be so, because they know how many people are already at their wits' end. So it will kind of, you know, I think be more structured But where they direct people to live, I think would be where it would be more safe. Because no matter what, we still have this cataclysm thing coming. You know, that the reset of the planet. We're still in that whole process. So, you know, that is an energetic thing that we don't have any control over. You know, it's going to happen no matter what. So, but, you know, the more you know that you can't be hurt, the more you know you're eternal, the more you don't have to fear something like that. But, you know, I just got all these people who's like scared of the weather and scared of nature and scared of climate change and like all these fucking chemicals, and you breathe them in, you need to cough them out. And I don't know, you know, how to get people to really cough and then get something in there to hold on to it, to take the junk out of your lungs. So, man, I don't know, but I would definitely do coughing exercises and stuff. And because I really feel like that a lot of the stuff is going into our lungs and then it's transferring through different parts of our body from there. So anyways, that's just how I'm seeing it right now. So, and, you know, I don't know. I can't even believe it. I can't even believe tomorrow's New Year's. And it's like, oh my God, then we're going to have all these stupid motherfuckers out here just making noise, just blowing shit up just for fun. Like, oh my God. I swear to God, this keeps being so, the light thing is doing weird stuff, I think. So much better on my eyes. Yesterday, when I did that whole recording, and then I don't know. Oh, it popped up on the TV. It popped up on the TV. Huge. My face was huge right there. And I was like, dang, that is so bright. And no wonder I'm sitting there and couldn't see. The light was like so bright. I should have paid better attention. That is where I'm always like, man, is it my brain? Is it my processing? That, you know, that doesn't sit there and go like, oh, it's too bright, go turn it down, you know. Because sometimes I do. Are they just trying to help me learn that or restart my brain like that? Like, I don't know. It's weird. Because sometimes I do, and then sometimes I just don't. I don't even see like, I can see it, but I don't process my way through it. Like, oh, I should turn the light down so it's not bothering my eyes. So, anyways, I don't know. Today, maybe I'll start my painting. I'm in such a mood, though. If I don't start today, tomorrow, but I'll probably be done in 10 minutes. So, everything goes so fast. When you try and do something to, you know, find something to spend your time and do, and it's like, goes so fast. It did. I think I started cooking all of that stuff like around, I don't know, 4:30 or 5. Probably like 5. Maybe 5:30, and I was done like by 9:30. So all of that, and then there is some stuff I could go outside and do. We're trying to clean up with the carport and stuff, but it is so freaking foggy. It's all those chemicals. They just keep raining them and raining them and raining them. Stella goes out. She comes in feeling worse and worse and worse. So I don't want to fucking go out and breathe them and get them in more of my hair and stuff. Like, you know, we've got just rain coming. So, I don't know. I was sitting here. I should get back to my drawing. I was drawing that coloring book, and then I just totally, I don't know if I lost interest or something came up. I don't even know. Sometimes if I am doing a project and then I stop, I don't get interested in going back. I have to go through and finish my projects. So then I love that sense of accomplishment. Like I really don't like, I don't think, very rare do I not finish something, but that coloring book is something that I have not. But it really is like some things, just like right now, just seem like you know, even just talking about my bed and how comfortable and how lucky to have this comfortable bed when I know so many people, you know, got such bigger problems right now. So many people don't have a bed. So many people don't have a home. So many people don't have a car. So many people, it's like, man. And it just seems kind of rude and selfish to, you know, it just seems that like shallow. Like when there's real problems going on, to be like, well, how about let's just color a coloring book? Like, I don't know, but I gotta go do my fire. So, I don't know, I'll just sit here in the rain and then find something to do. Maybe I'll just sleep all day. I swear to God, she sleeps. And yes, I'd go to bed. She was sleeping. I think it was like 4:30 or 5. So I lay down on the couch and just conked right out. But still, 1:30 in the morning, I just want to keep on sleeping, especially that bed. Oh, it is comfortable. It's really comfortable. And I have been sleeping in such an uncomfortable bed so long. I so much appreciate it. Anyways, you know, stay safe. Hopefully you guys are finding people in your communities to come together with. Like, I don't know. I just will be glad to start being around people who, you know, you can sit and have normal conversations about stuff, about what's really happening in the world, and not this pretend world that they all want to sit and talk about. But it's their real world. Like, it's all real to them. All that stuff they see is really real, and what's really happening. Man, this is weird. This is so weird. Anyways, I'll talk to you later. Bye.